one, and you should be one.
And welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries. Previously, our intrepid investigators have been dealing with the aftermath of the Vulture's operations as a macro swarm, larger than any that has been witnessed before, congealed of multiple macro swarms forced to coexist in a very enclosed space. You came to realize and discover that the sabotage afflicting the vultures recently, actually, ever since you've joined together in your efforts, has been because of Rawhead Bloodybones, the strange cursed being that haunts the superorganism in the town and valley beyond. You've discovered that he's taken something quite personal, some slight dealt to him by the head of the Vultures organization, or at least the head of this branch, uh, an Englishman named Percival Phillips, who, through assistance with your hacker friends, discovered has a long history, a legal rap sheet of poaching, smuggling, a little bit of human trafficking, jaywalking, nasty
All
little
the
list.
bad things.
The managing to trace the number that the victim had called, the very first victim that had alerted you all to this strangeness. You have discovered Percival hidden down in Little Japan in a basement under a closed up electronics shop. You managed to break in, perhaps not as subtly as you would have hoped, as some glass was broken. And as you charged down the basement, some shots were fired, but no one was thankfully hurt as you managed to grapple and subdue him, dragging him back to the surface as you called in reinforcements, getting Phil, his wife Diana, and Itzel involved in this shenanigans after as you all reconvened at the Riverless Casino with your captive, but not before Hanzo, Tommy, and Fred managed to, using a piece of prototype equipment from Pluripotent, managed to lure out and capture the macro swarm using a glue gun to trap the swarm and a combination of pheromone grenades to hurt it. But once at the sorry, I just glanced at chat.
It's always a mistake.
Yeah, rawhead tea is a thing. But
Sorry.
well, that was my fault. Me and DZ's. But the
I was apologizing to the audience.
you all reconvened with your captive and your allies at the Riverless Casino, and old paddle boat seemingly dropped down in the middle of the desert, far from any river or water mass that could reliably transport it here. But now an off-season casino closed to the public. And that was there. You interrogated Percival to some minor success, but you also discovered he had a trinket that seemed to be protecting him from the reach of Rawhead Bloodybones. A strange little figure, a necklace of the rain god Shock, ancient and more than likely stolen from somewhere, you would have to guess. But it was there that Rawhead Bloodybones decided to make another appearance, goading you all and telling you that you were to deliver Percival, and that you were to get directions from Percival himself to where you were to make the exchange, Percival for the kids. And before we left off, Rawhead decided to thank you all revealing as he tore open his own rib cage, cracking and splintering the bone to expose the beating, charred, and eye-spotted heart within. Thank you for returning it from its little walkabout. And that's where we resume. As thunder rumbles, as lightning flashes in the distance as the storm continues to roll in, and there you see Rahib looming in the door, leering at you and staring over at Percival as he's bound to the chair. He lets go of his ribcage, and it perhaps just distressingly kind of hangs open, swinging like a cupboard door, not even bothering to close himself back up as he stares at you all. No eyelids to hide those searing green eyes. And he goes, "I'll be waiting." And there is a flash of lightning, blinding, and as you blink, the door frame is empty as he has gone.
I'm beginning to think this rawhead feller might have a screw loose.
I think that's an understatement.
I think he's just a little bit unhinged.
What did you do to make him so angry?
Yeah.
Not you.
I can't remember. Yeah, he actually remember, he helped you out, Fred. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I was doing that because it was a good comedic bit.
I know. I just also want to remind the audience. But Phil, the Werjaguar retired biker, is just like, okay, I was not expecting this when you called me in to help with poachers. Looks to and she gives throws up her hands. Yeah, I didn't know about this either.
To be fair, we weren't expecting him to show up here. I was expecting his backup. Now, little man.
Percival is as pale as his crocodile scale boots, which are very pale.
So,
Almost albino, if you got to guess.
That rat bastard.
oh my god.
They have it hard enough.
Wait,
And
okay.
particular
Albino of what?
crocodilian, if you had to
I
guess.
noticed
alligator.
If you look at it close enough. Yeah, you've been up close and personal enough to realize, and
Yes.
you looked at, this is Siandra scale leather.
Oh my god. Her eyes, trail down, and she sees that.
Yeah, it's like alligator cowboy boots, that kind of design, but you recognize what this material is made out of.
Oh, she doesn't say anything, but she puts a hand on his shoulder and squeezes.
He winces. You've got a good grip.
What did you do?
He's kind of silent as he just seems to be in fearful shock. He still reacted to the pain of you squeezing his shoulder, but he's still just kind of wide-eyed, staring, kind of at the ground, just kind of if you had a guess without rolling anything, you just guess at his mental state. It's just oh god, oh fuck, I'm doomed, I'm dead, kind of spiral look. So,
what did you do?
and
Oh,
he's
He ain't give me nothing.
Whoops.
Ah,
Wrong one. I was trying to find. I was just trying to find like rain. But apparently, I don't have desert rain ambience. Whoops.
there should be some in Roll20 though.
Yeah, I'll look for it when it's, you're not talking to an NPC. He's just finally like seems to glance up at you, and just, with this, it's like look of fear kind of darkens into a scowl. What the fuck do you expect me to say?
That you did
Anything
something
that-
stupid.
That you're
Nothing
gonna
too
tell
bad,
us.
you know.
That you're gonna tell
Something
us
forgivable.
where we're supposed to take you, because you're the one who knows, bud.
And why would I take you to my executioner?
Maybe you can say sorry, make up. Become friends.
What you tell us
Yeah,
to
see,
do?
it's a fun idea, isn't it? You can
Well,
be
it's
your
kind of
friend's
a
little
laugh.
pal.
Broken man.
Well, I'm in the boat that I have to bring you to him. I don't have to make sure you stay with him. But it'll be harder to get away with a bullet in your kneecap. So, that's your choice.
Does Hanzo pull out his gun and just stand there?
Oh no, Carlos pulls out his gun.
Oh.
It's like oh, you're so used to the
This
wizard.
is very personal to Carlos, so
Oh,
he's
this
letting
is,
him take the charge.
This is getting a little dark, isn't it? You guys?
The Dama Chupacabra is so torn because it's like, fuck this guy, but also like, I don't condone torture.
Yeah, and like Fred, when you're kind of when you say that, you feel a hand and you look over and it's she's wearing her bike helmet still with the visor down, but she goes, "This is to get the kids back, right?"
Yes.
Yes. It's dark though, jeez. I don't know,
No.
like, buddy, there's gotta be something we can do that doesn't involve killing you.
And Carlos,
Agreed.
you offered to. Carlos, I think
You're
it would be
not-
able to manipulate someone. Oh, sorry.
Can I help out?
How? Oh, with
We
the
can-
help out roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How do you want to help out? Well, you are kind of doing the.
Kind of
Bad
good
cop, bad
bad
loot.
cop to a degree.
Well, you're both kind of bad cop, bad luchador at the moment.
What
Bad
status?
wizard.
I'm just imagining, like, Olivia, like, is laying the hand on his shoulders, like, yeah, Rawhead may put you through all sorts of torment that I can't imagine, but can Rawhead put you through the double flying suplex?
Can Rawhead put you through the Calamity Driver?
Mhm.
So,
Heavenly Wizard Buster?
Carlos, if you want, you can do manipulate someone.
Yes. If Nora has to roll, she has to roll the help out
Yeah.
to see if she helps out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find.
It's a plus cool, 2d6 plus cool.
Okay. I think I got that right. Did I get that right?
Make success.
Yes. 9.
So 7 and 9, your help grants them +1 on their roll. So great, you would get a +1. But you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. I will keep that in mind.
I mean,
So go ahead and roll manipulate
Don't
someone.
worry
which is
about
2d6
it, you'll be
plus charm
fine.
+1, Gray.
I am putting a +1 in.
A 9. Consistency. You both rolled a 6 and a 2.
Wow.
I have a whole 0 in my ability to talk to people.
I have a 1 in cool, and a -1 in charm.
On a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. And he looks at you and goes, "What assurance do I have to have that you would even bother to save me?" And Olivia, or well, Ladama Chupacabra is wearing the trinket that he had been wearing to hide himself. If I remember right. Right?
She's holding on to it. She's not hiding it or wearing it.
Okay.
Carlos will nod towards Ladama and be like, "She has your trinket, but he can't see you or touch you. If we pass you on, Cat throw it to you, and then he can't see you, that's enough time for me to give you to run." I got the kids back.
In her hands.
I don't give a fuck about your business, and I don't give a fuck about what your deal is with him. He has people I'm worried about. So we chuck that to you, give you a fighting chance to run.
Fine, fuck it, fine.
Hey, that's good. See,
Where are you going?
There's an old. We kind of have grimaces. There's an old cave that they tried expanding to see if there was mining opportunities way back, similar to the big operation we had, but this one was not as big. But now that we found an alternate opening, or well, Ra had shown us it.
Oh.
Ah.
Mm.
And what did he ask for?
Kind of clams up at that. Doesn't seem completely willing to admit why he pissed him off yet.
You know what? It's not my business.
You're not exactly in a good position right now. It'll only help us get you out of this alive if you tell us.
So I didn't make the deal with Rawhead myself. We were introduced, but he gave me rules, stipulations. Certain things are off limits, and he takes his rules very seriously. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay, no, sorry, it was just dead silent.
We
were listening intently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stops and go. He kind of trails off after going. He takes his rules seriously.
Yes. He's not the kind of person you normally want to screw over.
Was it the swarm?
Those are. No, that he doesn't even care about those.
What
That was bound for some pharmaceutical company over in Denmark, I think.
Huh.
Apparently, there's a lot of applications for their acids they spit out when they chew things to pieces.
Yeah, that makes a practical amount of sense.
They're also avoiding the answer.
What was the question?
What
That's
did
the
you
DM
do to
asking.
piss him off?
That was the
What
DM
rule-
asking.
Oh. What rule did he break?
Or was broken.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know he meant that thing? Never even seen it before.
What thing is he talking about?
The only thing that I can figure is one of my guys, after coming back from an excursion, had this strange little bipedal amphibian thing. I think it was amphibian. It looked like had those like little gill things on the side that you see mud puppies with. No
Huh.
eyes or anything, like a giant albino crocodiles. But never seen it before. Decided to pack it up, see what we could get for it, and apparently that was on the list of things not to take. It's not like he gave me a list with photos of each thing. That would have been fucking useful.
What thing?
Well, did you ever give him a camera?
It would have to be a very sturdy and very big camera. You see those fucking claws?
Sarah,
You can't complain
do I
about
know what
him
that
getting
is?
a camera.
Me or Winifred?
That no, actually, not really. No, a bipedal amphibian thing with like gills like that. Nothing really stands out. There are like there like gill structures like that have appeared on a few organisms that you've seen, Winifred, but nothing that seems to be like what he's describing.
Mm.
Is even the scorpionites kind of have that structure because they when they're because they're aquatic or amphibious, I guess, mostly aquatic.
Mhm. Well,
Well, couldn't you just bring the thing back?
We did. We once we found out that there was something he didn't. We hadn't shipped it off yet. It seemed to be getting sick, so we were waiting to see if it bounced back, and we brought it back and released it where my guy found it, and he came back without his head. Well, it was delivered to us.
Did you bring back the right thing?
Yeah, I just told you we had it in holding, and then it started to get sick, so we put off transporting it, see if it would bounce back, and then he started killing my guys, and we're like, oh fuck, this might be something that's off limits. We brought it back, was set loose. Rawhead delivered the headless corpse of my guy back.
Well, if he's still killing your men after you brought back the thing, how do you know you gave him back the right thing?
Because it was the only unique thing we'd harvested.
Hmm.
And you think he cares that we brought it back? You think? You saw what he did to his own fucking chest.
Yeah, he's a bit of a nut that way. I'll give you that.
Kind of gives you this look like, are you for real?
Unfortunately, he is.
And then, like, he kind of seems to absorb that you're this guy in this white leather biker jacket.
Like, he really sees Fred for the first time.
The day you saw Fred for the first time was the most important day of your life. But for Fred, it was Sunday night.
Jesus Christ.
Um,
So, like, no real effort to talk it out, I suppose, on either side. That's a problem with conflict resolution.
Oh, I tried to literally ask him what the problem was, and he told me I broke the rules. That's all he. I don't think you are grasping. We're dealing with something that is broken as mentally as it is in body.
And you made a deal with it. I don't think you grasped how much.
I didn't make the fucking deal.
Your people did. Oh.
Starts.
I mean, I think he's got an idea that it's a bad idea now.
Kind of hard to miss it now.
Fucking just shoot me now. Spare me for dealing with this.
You know what? No, like I said, he's got something I need back. So, you live until I get that back. But then we throw you the thing, and then you get to run away. Maybe. I don't know what tricks he'll have up his sleeve. I don't know him.
Gang, a group huddle a second.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, Fred. I am Madame Chupacabra.
Okay. Yeah, okay. We're just accepting that we're working with Chupacabra now, or a Chupacabra wrestler. We're just gonna deal with that.
Thank you, Luchadora.
Just gonna figure that out. Hey, luchador is a gendered word?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's Spanish. I guess they all are, aren't they?
Yes.
Anyway, the thought occurs.
No.
Rawhead is pissed at these guys because they went back on their word.
Mm-hmm.
We've made a deal with Rawhead, and our plan is to double cross him.
Oh, no. My plan is to make him think we're going to double cross him, give him a bloody bones, throw the thing up, and then we shoot it and crush the hope out of him.
I'm not okay with
But I can't say that because he's right fucking there.
I'm not okay with sacrificing somebody's life.
And Phil, who also joined the huddle, is like, also that thing looks like a historical relic that probably belongs in a museum, not to quote movies.
To be fair, Carlos, our deal was to bring him there.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm gonna follow along with Rawhead until I make sure those kids are back in my hands.
And I'm going to make sure they get in your hands.
But honestly, why the fuck are we standing up for the poacher who's literally brought almost everything down below up?
I'm throwing him to the cops or somebody after this.
He's got enough money probably from his illegal dealings to get out of court with, bail.
Then they'll find him and break his legs.
Did see that he did have an extensive list of charges that were brought to him, but were eventually dismissed.
They'll find him and break his legs.
Some of them were like from countries where it would be like Gail's like, oh yeah, he definitely bribed someone there. Like she would have pointed it out.
Listen, I don't like the idea of sacrificing anybody to that thing, but it's either bring him there, or we're doing the sacrificing of 2 children instead.
We're bringing him there. We're getting the children.
You put it that way, that does make it a bit more palatable.
The children are the most important thing here, but there's I don't condone this. I know that except children are more important if we have to choosing them. But if there's a way to not have any of them die, then that's what I want to find.
Okay, thank you, Madam Luchadoris, but I mean, I think we should really go for the people who've been part of this the whole time.
came out here to help you, and I feel like a little insulted.
You feel a
I'm
hand on your
sorry. It's just
shoulder.
this is some very heavy stuff that we're dealing with, and I don't know you very well.
Ladama Chupacabra. You feel a hand on your shoulder, and it's you just see her helmet just like doing like a nut, like a shake her head, just it's okay.
Just leave it. Winifred's got her eyes like rolled up to the ceiling. Like,
Yeah, Diana's the one like standing over by Percival, keeping an eye on him.
but again, I do want to point out we're not going to be technically double crossing Rawhead.
Okay, but will he accept that, or will he be like, "Hey,
He goes
that's not the
by
spirit
the
of the
word
bargain"?
of the deal, doesn't he? He
Well,
doesn't
one
go
hopes.
by real rules, otherwise this guy wouldn't be in trouble because he brought back the thing that got him in trouble in the first place. Rawhead goes by the letter of the rules. We said we'd bring him. We didn't say we wouldn't help him leave.
Okay.
He seems like exactly the type to play with the words.
I guess you guys know monsters a bit better than I do. If
Sorry.
maybe luchadors do. I don't know about luchador experience of monsters, to be quite honest, or really much about luchadors at all. But I'm not sure if I personally would expect a giant flesh monster to abide by the wording of rules like a lawyer. I guess if it watched a lot of Night Court.
This
Oh my
isn't
God.
something that I want to bet on, but it's
Sorry,
the best
Richard
we've
Mole.
got.
It would be a perfect casting for Rawhead.
This is the best
Also
we've
a
got
perfect
unless
casting
we
for
want
Fred.
to just accept that we have to murder this man.
Wait, I was thinking Martin Mole, sorry. But yes.
Yes.
Yes, this is the best thing we have, and
Well,
if we can find another way, I'm going to find another way. But the kids
if we can't, at the very least, we can rest easy knowing we saved those kids.
Exactly.
And that this guy was kind of a piece of shit, so,
Oh, he's extremely piece of shit. Do you see his boots?
not really worth getting worked up about.
Do you see his boots? Those are
Fashion
Grandra
disaster,
leather.
yeah.
Was that
What are you-
Fred?
She said, "You see those boots? Those are," and I said, "a fashion disaster." Yeah.
They're Scarandra scale boot.
Oh, that dick.
Yeah, whatever. That was something you would have picked up on
Mm-hmm.
very quickly.
She's
like-
not. She doesn't want to murder this guy by throwing him to Rawhead, but if she thought she could get away with it, she would be killing him anyway.
Yeah, Olivia is not down for murder and torture. That's not, she is against murder and torture. But like, man, she hates this man.
Yeah, it's like it's a real moral conundrum.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Also, how's Hanzo doing? He's been very quiet.
Yes, he has.
All right.
He's been listening. He has been listening to the conversation. He isn't disengaged with it.
Yeah, I figured he was also in the huddle, but maybe also keeping an eye on the guy.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, Diana's definitely there, and she does have like it's not like a sawed-off shotgun, but it's like one of the smaller pump ones. It looks like it would be better for like, she's a biker.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the Terminator 2 kind, but similar size. And she's just standing there watching him.
Yeah, I don't like any option that we have but bringing him and then potentially helping him to run is the lesser evil that we have right now. If anybody has any other ideas.
And Phil shakes his head. He goes, "This is more than I was prepared to get involved with, but
If you want to leave,
so
nobody would blame you.
no, we're pretty invested now. If this is to help kids out, yeah, we're gonna stay." And
Gives him a solemn nod.
honestly, we kind of owe you all.
I appreciate this. Sincerely.
And Etzel's, the helmeted head nods. He goes, "Yeah, I'm not going anywhere either."
She can't see the smile from Ladama Chupacabra.
Jesus,
Are you in one of those weird torture luchador masks?
What?
No, it's not a gimp mask. Jeez.
Yeah, I guess you could see the smile. Yeah. It
like
Yeah,
most
luchador masks
luchador
only have a
masks,
mouthful.
luchador masks usually have a mouthhole. That's why it was like, hold on a second.
There are don't have like a large
Fucking gimp?
mouthful and it's just like a slit or something, but no,
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucked up ones.
the ones where it's like, how can you be doing that much exercise and not be passing out from lack of air?
I watch Lucha Underground, man. I know what's in there.
Lucha Underground is my favorite Sonic spinoff.
No. Come on.
No one, if you start singing the song, I'm going to put you in containment. Anyways,
Luckily for all of you, I have not actually watched a single Sonic cartoon in my life, except the Snapcube dubs.
I could sing it, but I won't.
It's already stuck in my head, and that's why I'm saying I'm stopping it here. Was that shitty?
Look out, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, God.
All right.
Down the bunny trail.
So let's go get this guy. Let's go take him to where we need to go. And we go from there.
Hanzo will finally weigh in. I understand the reluctance to dirty our hands with torture and complicity in murder. I understand that you don't want to give Rawhead the satisfaction of a kill. And be it as it may, that this creature may be bound by arcane rules not to retaliate if we go back on our word. Understand that he is still intelligent, and he will hold a grudge. He may not retaliate today or tomorrow, but we already have his attention. I do not want to earn his ire.
Good fucking line, TV.
Exactly. So yeah, holy shit, that was a good fucking line.
Yeah, goddamn.
You're going to earn his ire one way or another.
And I would rather it be later when we know more of this creature and how we can stop it.
Your point is valid.
Understand that he didn't come after any one of us. We can defend ourselves. He went after the children. We piss him off, and he will target someone else we know about.
Also,
Like the pretty gas station attendant at the Five and Dime.
I also want to point out that first I want to ask, was Tommy there when Rawhead came out of the fucking cupboard?
I think so.
Which one? Which point?
So I think we were all together. It was at least me and Hanzo, and I think you were there from when we had the magical memory play of him coming out of the cupboard.
Okay, then. Okay.
Oh yeah, you were there at the curio shop. I thought you
Okay.
meant like when he abducted the kids. I was like, no, you were at the dinner because you were there to help comfort the mom when she showed up panicked.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
you're right. You were there for the memory spell.
Okay. I want to point out that Rawhead can also come out of God knows what sort of surface or opening. So
It's
we have
how he
to
did. It's how he took the children.
Hello?
What?
Hello?
Hi.
I wasn't coming through.
Oh, well, now you are.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to point out that Olivia was the one who was there and saw the memory.
Tommy.
Yeah, where is
What?
Olivia? Why isn't she taking part of this?
Wait, you were at the curio shop?
I don't.
Yeah, because then they dropped me off at home and I put on the mask.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you were also there.
It was relayed in either way, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
everybody's aware that happened.
And Tommy, you would have been able to guess that since you were the one who got the initial information about the abduction scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Winifred's going to go, look, I don't have the same sort of morals that some of our friends do. I don't care if this guy dies or who kills him. I was just trying to offer a solution that would let them sleep well.
Yes. If it comes down to it, you and I can make the call.
Gotcha.
And she's not going to look
I'm
at
going-
Olivia at all when she says this. Her face is
Yeah.
hard, and her eyes are cold.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to pause an intense moment, but I will be. I just heard something loud,
Oh,
louder.
oh,
We
nothing.
will save the children.
Nothing.
Rawhead Bloody Bones. What are you doing at
God.
DM's house?
Crawl out of his
hey.
I just thought it'd be fun. Sure, I'm my favorite friend.
I just want to take part.
No, that's fair.
Oh,
Hopefully everything's going all right.
I mean, he's. Well, this is a fun moral
Okay.
conundrum, by the way.
Sorry, false alarm. Recently, the cat knocked over some things, so I was making sure it wasn't him being a little shithead again.
Ah,
Is it really ever a false alarm, even if the news is good?
no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. An intense scene.
No, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Continue.
But yeah, I just kind of Anzo was looking with Olivia. It's like, if it comes down to it, you and I will do the hard thing.
Or was it to Winifred?
Winifred, yeah. Hanzo will break off from the group. Where is this cave?
You go back up to him. right. It's south of the main pluripotent, facilities. I can direct us there. There's some mostly dirt roads that we got to go through.
Very well. Hanzo's going to take him.
Okay, so you have 3 NPC bikers with you, 2 people with motorcycles of their own, and assorted vehicles. How are we splitting up? Got us a convoy.
To be fair, the others are not obligated to continue with us.
Wait, I think it's just Hanzo's car and the jalopy because Olivia, you were riding with Hanzo
Yeah. I can ride with Itzel now, though.
on the bike.
Yeah. If she
Okay.
was alright with that.
He doesn't have an extra helmet with her, but
I have a luchador mask.
That's not going to protect your face from pavement.
No, it won't.
I'm sorry, but that's how you become a biohazard.
What?
That is legit what happened, what it's called when, people crash on the fucking highway at high speeds.
then become smeared.
Alright,
The
alright,
smears
I
are-
won't go on the bike.
Yes, DZ and I have parents who worked in the ERs, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I won't go on the bike without a helmet.
Yeah, my mom was always like, from an early age, she would tell us, because it's like, being a kid's like, motorcycles are cool. I kind of want one when I grow up. And my mom's like, if you ever get one, you are living out of my house, and I never have to see you ride it because I see people come in, and she would go into graphic stories, and it's just like, okay, message received. Never been on a motorcycle.
See, that's why for that same reason, I am not comfortable being on a vehicle. I wish to be in a vehicle, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Surrounded on all sides.
Yeah.
I can't even ride a fucking normal bicycle. I am not getting on a fucking motorbike.
Yeah. So people on bikes can follow. You tell them that they don't have to continue, and they say that, Phil and Diana, they say they're in for this, and Itzel's reaffirms that she'll be, help out if she can.
Okay.
Understand that the more you see, the less plausible deniability can be held up.
I don't think that, Diana's like, I don't think that whatever the fuck that was cares about plausible deniability.
I'm referring to the fact that we're going to be going to another entrance of the superorganism. If I had to guess.
And Phil shrugs. Well, I've always wanted to see it. Never got around to taking a tour when it was still open to the public.
Olivia whispers to Itzel. Quite the sight, actually.
She like nods and goes, never been, but I've seen the museum. Yeah. But so you all mount up on bikes and shove a guy in a. Is he in the seat or is he in the trunk?
He's in a seat.
Okay. Because you do have a big enough trunk to fit Hanzo, while Carlos's trunk has an air hole.
We could also just, tie a rope around him, drag him, tie it to a tack of a motorcycle, and just...
Mad Max him?
Yeah, just Mad Max him.
Road Warrior.
I don't think that would work.
Not actually in character.
Rawhead will be like, you delivered him fucking raw!
Not road hauling, but like strapped to the front like the Road Warrior or Mad Max.
Either one would be funny.
Yeah.
What matters is that we have respect for human life.
Definitely.
Why do you think Hanzo's taking him?
Yeah. So who's riding with Hanzo and who's riding with Carlos? Fred and Fred, you've got your bikes, right?
Yeah.
I'm with Hanzo.
Okay, I'll ride with Carlos then.
Okay. And thankfully, as you start following Hanzo's vehicle in this little convoy flanked by 5 motorcycles, you does not take you into what you started realizing might be the Road King's haunting area, territory, or whatever you want to call it. But does start heading out of town as Olivia, as you're sitting there listening to the directions, does seem to be going in the vague direction that you saw that image, that vision of the chupacabra staring off in the distance toward the mountains.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
You know, a funny mental image just entered my head.
Hmm.
The fact this is such a grim situation, I have a evil British guy in the back of my car, and he's listening to the J-pop.
There's a luchador in luchador.
There's a luchador right next to him. This is the last music this man's likely going to hear before he dies.
God.
If he complains, he's getting thrown out of the car and walking.
Olivia, are you in the back seat with him, or are you in the front seat?
No, actually, I should be in the back seat to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, as Hanzo fires up the music, you just see this guy's expression go from someone going to the gallows to just what the fuck is going on? As he's just looking around and then looks at you this, and he just kind of seriously?
She gives it raises an eyebrow. What? You've never heard music before?
And then he just kind of seems to realize who he went seriously to, as he realizes he asked out of the luchadora sitting next to him who wrestled him to the ground earlier, and then he's just he's quiet for the rest of the trip except for giving directions.
Death with dignity is not on the menu, right, he realizes.
Oh,
he's fucked in several different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when Fred, unfortunately, being on motorcycles, you can't really talk. You might need to get some of those headset walkie-talkie things so you can keep in contact. But Carlos and Tommy, how are you two doing since you're riding together? Anything you wanted to chat about?
I got nothing if you got something.
I don't got anything.
I suppose it answers the question.
This motorbike, Fred's like, I wonder what my kids would think about how we're doing this. They'd be proud of me? Angry that I'm sending a man to his death? Wonder what they'd say. Oh, Dad, it's so cool that you fucking killed that guy. Save kids. You guys sucked ass. Well, I should mind your language, but yeah, I guess Leonid is justified. All right.
That little side with this music, it was just magical.
That it should be.
Yes. Whoever's the closest on the motorcycle can just hear the vague sound of in the squeaky voice.
He's not saying it out loud. He's just thinking it to himself. It's his little internal monologue.
Well, no, maybe the reason why we keep hearing Fred's monologues, even when he's not present at the scene, is because maybe he's just a latent psychic.
I was just thinking that too.
I personally like to think that a version of Fred, maybe this one, maybe a one, got into some horrible cosmic bullshit, and now has its consciousness spread throughout all of space and time, like Dr. Manhattan.
The Impossible Girl.
Fred,
capable of affecting anything, but just commenting.
TT.
And I like to imagine he's no less.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I like to imagine he's no different in temperament, despite his hyper like time-space dispersal. He's still Fred. He's still God's little meow meow.
TT, I was just gonna say, going back to her talking about Johnny the homicidal maniac on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I made this comparison before that Fred is like how Johnny was the release valve for misfortune.
Waist lock.
Waist lock. And it's just Fred became a universal constant of sad.
Oh my god! No!
There must always be a Fred.
Oh my god.
No matter
Okay,
where.
enough mythologizing Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that when I finally die.
We won't let you.
Oh,
Well, it's not up to us. It's up to the dice.
Or Olivia, would you go to the lengths of necromancy in order to keep Fred alive?
Nah.
Would you make him a
Yeah.
horror movie creature?
Nah.
That's
Wow.
good storytelling. That you're so attached to your friends that you go to unhealthy lengths and will ruin yourself and your life in order to get
I mean,
them
her
back.
friends, yeah, but Fred?
Wow.
Oh my
Damn.
god.
Wow.
You hear the rain?
I mean, he's vaguely
Yes.
useful, but
Yeah.
like,
Jesus Christ.
So you're riding
Just
through
for
the
that?
rain.
Just for that, she would.
So you're riding through the rain, thunder and lightning, flashing and rumbling.
Very,
The-
very frightening.
Very, very frightening. As you go off road, heading out of town for a bit. Well, not quite off road. You follow dirt road for a while, but as he directs you, he goes, "Okay, there's going to be a boulder we gotta pass. You gotta turn by the boulder and then climb. It's going to be off road a bit, but we gotta go. And then there will be something of a path we've trailed or bulldozed through, and might be motorcycles. It's a muddy kind of ordeal, but thankfully it's not super muddy yet, so you don't get stuck. Your vehicles do go through the. Thankfully, the ground is hard packed enough that the water's it's not becoming morassy. But Hanzo, your car handles it. Carlos, there's a point where you're just like, this might be a bad idea. But your jalopy, through pure pluck and, grit, pluckiness and grit manages to get through.
The jalopy has a fated death and cannot die back here on these roads.
That's how magic works.
It's fated to die in mutual combat with the Road King.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? That will be the one conversation Carlos has to break the silence after a particular rough patch.
I received
And
a
he's
prophecy about my stupid jalopy.
And he's like, he's gonna look over to Tommy and be like, "Don't worry about the car. The jalopy will be fine. I bought her cursed. She's doomed to die on the road. This isn't a road.
Yeah, it's more of a path, if anything.
Like, it was specifically die in a duel on a road, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be the Road King, knowing how our luck's gone with that so far. Like, how funny would it be if you just showed up here on the middle of a dusty dirt country road?"
Honestly, it would be even funnier if it was against something non-threatening, but it's technically a duel.
In the distance, you hear the faded sounds of a horn calling out into the darkness.
Great. I just realized, what if it's not Carlos that pilots the jalopy to its glorious end, but fucking Fred? In a true reenactment of Duel.
Oh, God.
Well, you son of a bitch.
I just looked back at chat. And what?
What are you going to say?
just the scene from Parasite with the guy driving. So it's a rough ride, but eventually you see what he means, as there seems to be a flattened portion as you go. Yeah, this is almost going straight up into the mountains at this point. This seems to be like where it will start climbing if you have to keep going, and you're a little bit worried about that, especially because motorcycles won't do very well with that. But he goes, okay, there's a clearing up here. That's where it is. And you, with the headlights shining, you all pull in to see a like a small parking lot area. It looks like a temporary parking lot where just everything's been plowed over and just cleared out. Where there's like, if it wasn't raining, you would probably see a bunch of tire tracks that had been there. No vehicles there now, but tucked up at what looks to be the foot of this hill that goes into the mountains. It's like a pile of rocks and boulders that almost seems to form a natural cave entrance that seems to go into it, and he points at it. As you see, there is like what looks to be like a generator underneath a like a corrugated metal sheet shed they've made. And he goes, generators there, there's some lighting to go in. There's a better there's a what how did I hear this right? There's like a little base inside that where we would box things up before shipping them out. You know, can't have trucks and buildings out there if, what if a helicopter passes by and sees it?
Yeah. Before proceeding, Hanzo's going to crane his neck around. Should we expect any of your associates to be here?
No, we've given up on this one. I told them to all leave once I realized he was going after everyone. The swarm, and the chupacabra and the other things, they were things we had already extracted before we abandoned this site.
Well, you do care about human life.
Care about my life.
What?
Care about my life.
That's what I expected.
He looks out the window into the dark night and the pouring rain.
All right.
And thankfully, the way it looks like the slope goes does not look like it's going to be, starting to flood with this rain. It doesn't flow that way. There's a slope kind of going upwards.
Hanzo.
He's gonna park the car.
Oh, okay. I thought we already parked.
Yeah, you got all parked, and we're just kind of looking at this with like the headlights. So as everyone just kind of pulled up, and the bikers get off their bikes and.
Yeah, but he's gonna go first with his gun and make sure that it's all safe.
Hanzo. She holds up the amulet. He's not getting this.
Isn't he right next to you?
Oh, I said you went. You said you went ahead.
Yeah, but who's watching him then?
You watching him? Yeah. Never mind.
I could say that well, you could literally say to Itzel, keep an eye on him as you follow.
Yeah. We're keep an eye on him. We're going to scout ahead.
Yeah, the guy's sitting in the car, and he's like, he seems to at least be temporarily glad he doesn't have to step out into the rain just yet, as you scout ahead. But
he's not getting this.
He's not.
So we can't have it on us, or else Rawhide can't come.
I'm sure he can see most of us, just not the person wearing it.
Well, he did say not to bring it, so.
Yeah.
Are you alright?
Are you?
You know the answer to that.
You're the one who decided to dress up as a luchador in the middle of an investigation, so...
Hey,
Sass.
Jesus Christ.
That was some sass.
Hey, you're not the one. You're not the one who got given some mystical mask by some potential magical force.
But you're the one who put it on.
Shut up.
That's fair.
Thank you.
So I mean, there's been no confirmation it's mystical yet.
I said
Well-
potentially mystical force.
Oh, okay, yeah, potentially. Okay.
Yes.
You could
Thank
have
you.
just
But yeah.
it could have just been laced with like some LSD, skin contact, and you're just like, bat. No, that's not what happened. Continue, sorry.
And I saw when I put it on. I saw Chupacabra, and looking at where we are now, this is where he was pointing me. That's
Ain't that
weird,
helpful?
right?
It's magic.
I guess it is.
We eat at a wizard's diner and we help the dead boy come back to life by
Yes.
putting a demon in his body.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're
but
okay with magic.
She is still the one who's like least
Used to it.
yeah.
No, that's not true. Fred's not used to it either.
I mean, that's true. Fred is standing right
Yeah.
there.
But yeah, what was the words you specifically used, Olivia? That, it's a little strange or whatever? Or convenient?
Without what?
Yeah, what words did you use specifically?
For the mask?
Yeah, that it pointed out in this direction.
Oh yeah, I don't think she used specific words. You said she saw it and it pointed here, and now that we're here, she can see that it was pointing this direction.
Yeah. I thought she made a comment about that or something.
She might have. I'm a goldfish.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'll just.
But
Well, that's weird, right?
well, fate happens to be rather convenient. Otherwise, it wouldn't work.
Look, until I got involved in all this, I didn't believe in anything like this. Now I might have a god in my corner.
There are
A god
gods
who-
everywhere if you'd know where to look.
I don't.
Hanzo believes in Shintoism.
I mean, to be fair, we ran into a fucking kasha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is from, like, legit Japan, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Not even bootleg Japan. Legit Japan.
okay.
Alright, I just realized how absurd it was to say legit Japan, so. Sorry.
Yeah.
my
Then
brain-
your follow-up kind of broke my brain for a second.
Yeah, no, I broke my own brain with that. I'm not helping, and I'm the one running the game.
Yeah. I can. You're right. That's what is throwing me off. Because, like I said, I didn't believe in any of this until now.
That's why it's important to keep an open mind.
All right, there's open mind, and then there's surprise, demons and ghosts, and fucking Rawhead.
Well, I mean, vampires are real and everyone
not
knows
here.
about it.
Yeah.
I don't think you've gotten to fucking Rawhead yet.
Fred
All
X
right, Fred.
Rawhead.
But yeah, that
OTP.
does bring up a good point. He will use that. Consider that once upon a time, vampires were considered the stuff of myth and legend and folklore.
I know, and I was the one honing in on a werethylacine and turned out to be fucking Tommy.
Do you know why I'm never surprised by what we see?
Because you work for Pluripotent and you've seen some shit?
No. It's because I acknowledge that I don't know anything. I acknowledge that I am a small thing in a very, very big, very old world.
I don't like that, Hanzo.
It keeps my mind open and it keeps me humble.
I know I don't know everything, but
It's
I went
not a
to college.
failure. It's not a failure of wisdom on your part if that's what you're getting from my words.
No, I'm just trying to. This is the kind of stuff that.
Hey,
When I
is
was
it
a
clear up
geek-
there?
He's gonna like. She's good. She's while she's trying to find the words. He's gonna
coyote
proceed.
looks like a miserable dog as she's standing there in the rain.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's gonna poke inside the cave, not waiting to continue the conversation. Because
I
right,
assumed
we have a
were
job to
going
do.
While we were talking.
Well,
No.
it's going to. No, this was an intense conversation. You
Fair enough.
two were just kind of standing there.
So he'll just he'll just call back. So far, we're heading deeper into the cave now.
Yeah.
Do you follow Olivia?
Yeah.
Hanzo will have thought to have brought a flashlight because it got dark and we're heading towards a cave.
yeah. I assumed you all had your flashlights.
Yeah, he's
Flashlights are
got
just
the
kind of a
flashlight in one
given.
hand and the gun in the other.
Let me see if I have a flashlight.
Like actually, that's the character art for the professional, so it fits.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're heading into the cave as it's decently large. It definitely looks big enough that they could have transported stuff out like chupacabras and other stuff, if one by one at least. It's not super big. It's not big enough for like vehicles to go through, but you do see in the dirt at the ground looks to be like tracks that you would probably guess like trolleys or like flatbeds, that kind of thing. Is there a roll?
Yeah, I was rolling preparedness to see if I have a flashlight.
I was just gonna say, well, yeah, you are in your costume.
Yeah, because I normally have a high-powered flashlight, but I'm in a luchador outfit.
Oh my god.
So, no,
I just got it.
We don't.
This guy's responsible for all the shit we've done. Him and his little gang of toadies. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have all these escaped monsters we've been dealing with.
Yep.
They're like Shaggy and Scooby and the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Let all those little bastards out.
That's the reference you're going with?
Of course.
Do you have a better one that would be known of in circa 1993?
It's a shame that never got finished.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a Jackie Chan Adventures homage, but that won't be out for years.
He's got you, Winifred.
I'm just saying that's what you're going with. And not like Pandora's Box or anything else.
I haven't read a lot of
Oh god.
What is that? Like a makeup lotion?
Like a romance novel?
I'm not like you,
Lingerie
Winifred. I'm not old.
The unspoken statement.
Well,
I wasn't there in
also
ancient
that he's-
Greece, Winifred. Gosh.
I can't make him have all my nerdy fascinations. He does not know mythology.
so the two of you
That's also
go
why he
and
poked holes in the will this thing follow its an order thing. It's like he doesn't know fair folklore.
Hmm.
So Hanzo, you're following Hanzo's like the two of you head in deeper.
Yeah.
You do see like lights strung up along the way, although no one turned on the generator, so you're just going in with your flashlight. But the after a short bit, because there is like somewhat of an upward angle towards this, you don't have to worry about water, and so it's a fairly dry interior as you go marching along. And it's not too long before, maybe only like 100 or so feet before it opens up into a larger chamber, maybe a cavern, or what might have been like the start of an attempted mine, as you see like old wooden supports hammered into the sides, but there is like scattered metal tables. There's occasional bit of like just simple little folding chairs. Things are flipped over on their sides. There are broken glass cases similar to uh, the the macro swarm case, but not as complex or heavy duty. You see, in one corner there are more traditional looking cages of varying sizes that are all empty. But as you look around with your flashlight, uh, investigate a mystery because you are now in a new area. Which,
boy.
Olivia, if you want to as well.
Yes.
All right, I will get the rest of you involved too. Sorry. Oh, Fred.
Oh, was I not allowed to do that one?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just Hanzo and Olivia, but Fred.
What?
Fred just wanders in behind you guys.
I got two nat ones.
Dang.
It's
That's
because
a
Fred.
stretch, baby.
Roll 20 doesn't like you.
It does make sense for Fred to just wander in when he shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
why you got the nat ones. You got distracted by Fred coming in, got startled.
Suddenly,
So-
Fred.
Suddenly,
7 and then
Fred.
11. 7 to 9, a hold of 1, and on a 10 plus, you get a hold of 2. So, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Wait, that might have been the wrong thing. Oh, that might have been better to do a read about situation. It's still the same stats, so. Yeah, so, best way in, best way out. Any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? Most vulnerable to me? What best way to protect the victims? And well, no, it would be investigative mystery. Sorry, I'm getting. It's been a while. Can you tell?
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
So, investigative mystery. You have 2 of these, Fred and Hanzo. You have 1. What happened here? What sort of creature was here? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? And what is being concealed here? Because you do see this place is in a heavy state of disarray.
I want to know
Yeah.
what's being concealed here, and
Good idea.
what happened here.
Okay. What happened here is it looks like, as looking around with the flashlight, you see the scattered tables, and there to one side it looks like it might have been like a little, not little, like a ham radio that's been smashed. There's scattered papers, but as you look, you realize that splattered on the papers and the ground is old dried blood as you look around and realize that there was probably something violent that went on here. But as you realize, oh, that's a lot of blood. Where's the bodies? Where's the bits? Where's the pieces? And then you realize, almost in the dirt floor, partial stone dirt floor, you realize there are drag marks and streaks through the dried blood, leading in deeper towards the tunnels, and you realize that there are tracks of strange animal tracks that maybe something was scavenging here.
Well, Hanzo, if I didn't know better, I'd say there would be coyotes down here.
Or something else that's come up.
Yeah.
Go and alert the others.
Okie dokie.
And Hanzo, you have a hold of one. Oh yeah, what was what was being concealed here is it looks like the bodies and remains were dragged off.
I'm going to ask, what sort of creature is it? Applying my limited knowledge of endofauna.
Okay. Crouching down, you look at the tracks that Fred had pointed out to you, and they seem to be kind of vaguely reptilian in stance and like shape. There's like a four-fingered or four-toed like footprint, it looks like. And
how big are we talking?
About palm-sized.
Definitely not a Siandre then.
No. But they're like, when you look, there seems to be a good amount of them. Like maybe like a group of them or a pack, whatever term might be appropriate. But it seems definitely be more than one.
Didn't he mention something about like amphibian creature? You're the animal expert.
But I've never heard of this one.
Do these look like amphibian tracks?
She'll hunch down and take a look at them.
Like they might look like maybe like a newt kind of shape, but it also looks like it could be like a lizards of some sorts. It's reptilian or amphibious. That's a good guess. You would think, but you're not sure. Or like a weird duck.
I can't say for sure, but this does look like vaguely like something reptilian or amphibious, like a newt. But for all I know, it could be a weird duck.
You said.
Fred. No, go on.
You said that man's wearing Siandre shoes.
Yeah.
Well, Siandre are intelligent.
These aren't Sarandre prints.
No, I don't think so. They're too small. But I'm just trying to puzzle out what exactly was his trespass.
Because Mr. Andres have been poached before.
Yeah.
I don't think what he... See, if the thing he's talking about is what he wasn't supposed to take, which I'm not convinced. I could be completely misreading it, and it could totally be that, and Rawhead just doesn't...
Sorry.
Yes, DM?
I was just going to say, as the two of you continue your discussion in the dark, the lights suddenly flicker on and illuminate, and you can see, the extent of the gore. It seems that there were several bodies in here, if you had to guess, before they were removed. But as Fred, you return to the mouth of the thing, you see Phil step out from the little slapshod shed as he's like, got the generator going. Not much fuel, but it should be good for like an hour or so. Or more. We could probably pull some from our own tanks to, if we need it.
I
We'll
don't
make
think we'll be
do.
here that long.
Actually, Hanzo or Carlos, you might have like a spare can of gas or something in the junk.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
But
so Fred, you
lights are on.
return.
We're able to see the carnage.
Yep, and it does look like this was like a little staging area where they boxed up the animals they gathered up.
Who's
You see,
bringing
like-
Percival?
Carlos will.
Okay,
Ah,
Carlos and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tommy, the shortest bouncer.
is there like a skylight or no, like is there any other entrances to this?
Nope, there's the entrance in and a path going deeper.
Uh,
Yeah, it's only about like 30 feet in diameter or so. No, it's probably bigger than that. It's a, this looks like it was probably going to be like the main area for whatever mining operation started from here, but like Percival said during the drive, it was abandoned when, mining tests didn't really turn up anything good.
So yeah, Hanzo's gonna go over to Percival. He's gonna point out the tracks. The creature you captured wasn't about that big.
As he frowns as you march him up. I think Diana's going to stay at the mouth of the cave and keep an eye on the vehicles.
Good idea.
Fair.
Saying that she's like, well, if this guy has goons, they might show up, and
Yeah.
rather we know. So her and Phil have these matching walkies they use for when they're on rides. So Phil and Itzel are with you as you escort Percival into this chamber. Pointed out to him, and as he goes, he kind of frowns and thought at it. He goes, "Oh, fuck, jackals. It's not really. It's not what they're called, but that's just what we call them. Like scavenging lizards." And Winifred, like seeing these tracks, you would know. Yeah, there are these things that are sometimes called like hyena lizards or jackal lizards. They're like, they don't really have like a common name beyond that. They have like a scientific name that like escapes you for the moment. But yeah, they are these lizards that believed to be evolved from like local Chuck Wallace type lizards that have become little, like the equivalent of actually like coyotes in the endofauna food chain, where they are small little packs that like to scavenge off of dead things or like chase smaller things.
Okay.
They're not really a problem unless like you get isolated with a group and you can't scare them off, but they are normally skittish. They have a habit of dropping their tails and running if something's starts startling them. Although you have seen, when like a group will try to go up to like a fencing team and try to like harass them and like steal some of the stuff they're cutting, but like you'll scare them off. One of them will drop their tail, and another one will just blindly pick it up and start chewing on it as they go running off, like defeating the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the brightest of lizards.
They're not smart, but they're effective.
Yeah, and saying this really does seem to like, once that's put out there, like, oh yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That would mean there is definitely an active entrance if they are scouting this far ahead.
All right. Everyone stay together. Watch each other's backs.
I'll
I will
hang
turn off
back
the rain
with
since you're now underground.
I'll hang back with this, to toss it to you when the time comes.
Herschel kind of does a nervous gulp and then nods. Just he seems, almost piss his pants scared.
She does not meet his eyes.
All right.
Who's taking the lead?
You'll look to Winifred, actually. You're the Deep Ranger.
All right.
You'll know better than I.
Yeah, I'll lead the way down. I can see in the dark anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Do I have to roll anything to lead, or?
Nope. Because it's a pretty straight shot. As you go further into the tunnel, as it does look like this was an old mining shaft. There's like the old wood that's posts that are holding up the ceiling, although there looks to be newer ones that have been replaced. What you will about these vultures, they do seem to have a sense of mind to be like, okay, we got to reinforce this so we don't get trapped inside or collapse this on us.
And when you're in a dangerous profession, you can't afford to be stupid.
Yeah. And I mean, the stupidity is getting into the profession in the first place, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you do see occasional off branches, going off, but the Trail of Lights does go in Percival if prodded goes. Those are just dead ends. And if anyone goes and looks, like they continue for a little bit, yeah, they're just dead ends where they stopped, tried digging out and stopping. But you continue, and sure enough, the kind of cold, fresh humidity of the storm outside, that had disappeared as you go into this dry tunnel becomes more of a now somewhat familiar wet humidity now that you've spent time in the cistern swamp, as you realize this feels like can't really say breath, but like the inner atmosphere of the superorganism mixing with the air of this tunnel. And Winifred, it's very distinct to your senses. This is something you smell pretty much on your day job.
Mm-hmm.
So even if Percival wasn't giving directions and it wasn't marked, you'd be able to track this down. And soon enough, you find this one chamber. It's a little bit wider than the tunnels that you've been going through. As you see also a few overturned tables and a few broken cages that have been smashed. But unlike the first entrance you discovered on the one down in the cistern, where it seemed that the superorganism had chewed its way through, in its eternal growth, here it seems to, you see a broken piece of the stone wall, and behind it you see the flesh of the superorganism, but it has been sliced into, as you see the flesh pulled and stretched out into a grotesque, almost Geiger-esque entrance, as they have been stapled, as it has been stapled open with osteocrete staples, basically, or stakes. And definitely a violent incursion rather than the natural mouths that you've used to explore before.
Mm-hmm.
And Percival looks and goes, "This is where Ra had told us to dig."
How the hell did you even make contact with that thing?
Like I said, I didn't make the deal.
Right.
Who did?
They clam up. He shuts his mouth. He's resisting revealing who anytime that's been brought up, he's
gonna look over
Okay.
to. He's gonna stop in his tracks, turn around. Simulacra, right?
yeah. You don't have to roll to see that look of like, oh fuck, realization.
Yeah, we've had run-ins with them before. Seen their handiwork.
Then you know why I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
Rawhead terrifies me.
Simulacra's had. Well, I was gonna say has, but I don't think their deal with Rawhead's on the table anymore.
Rawhead terrifies me, but they. And he kind of goes quiet again. Just stop talking.
Yeah. Their work is gruesome. Rawhead, I think you have a pretty good idea of what he's capable of, but Simulacra, hell, they can do anything.
Devil you know versus devil you don't, I guess.
You learn to fear the people who send a man who can look just like you to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy, you would know exactly who he means.
Oh yeah, that's
I see.
Oh, God.
see.
that's the doppelganger.
Yeah, Rawhead seems like the type that, like, he will kill you. Oh, it will be brutal. It will be torturous, but he's just going to kill you. Simulacra could make you not you anymore.
Mm-hmm. Use you for all
Nope.
kinds of experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Experiments in the cradle of God.
Alright. He's going to turn back towards the entrance. Well, I don't think any of us are carrying around a dinner bell. He's just going to raise his voice a little bit, not quite shouting. This good enough for you?
There's no answer.
I actually do have a dinner bell on me. It's
He's going to look at Fred as like, did you keep the bell from the ritual?
yeah, I like it.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. The enchanted bell.
Guess we go deeper.
Sometimes when I'm having a moment, I just give it a little ring, and it makes me feel happy.
Good for you.
Thanks.
So, and sorry. Phil kind of looks to the rest of you. Goes, "Do I wait here, or?"
I wouldn't do it alone, but it's good to have people covering our exit.
And I don't want to get too far from Diana, and because he's been checking in with the walkies, he goes, "I don't think this is going to work too well down there." And
Go
if she,
ahead. You stay here then.
he nods and goes, kind of lowers his voice so this personal guy can't hear. And he goes, "Honestly, if we need to track you down, Diana will be able to just sniff you out." And don't tell her I said that. She's self-conscious about that.
Aw.
Yeah, Hanzo, if you remember,
That should be us.
like Hanzo, if you remember, she was very self-conscious about using her enhanced sense of smell about when you guys were investigating Fred's apartment to see what the werebeast.
The Tommy?
Yeah, the werebeast vandal.
The Tommy.
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Okay, good luck." And he's there, and he's got like you've seen it before, like a simple but decently big like Bowie knife on his hip and a pistol on his hip, and a holstered there. But he's just kind of standing there, looking around, looking back up the tunnel, and then back to you and goes, "All right, guess we'll hold the fort or hold the line here."
Well,
In we go.
if anything gets life-threatening, you guys get yourself out of here safe.
Okay, Oakley.
Yeah, you too. And so Itzel continues to follow.
Yeah, you sure about this?
Yeah, I said I was always interested in. I mean, I did say I never took a tour. Oh no, wait, that was Phil. No, she goes, "Yep, said I was going to help out."
Yeah, but I understand if this was a bit more than you want to deal with.
And since it's just the two of you, like maybe trailed back as everyone's going in. Winifred,
Yeah.
are you taking the lead,
Yeah, I'm just
being the Deep Ranger?
still taking the lead
Okay.
until told otherwise.
Okay. Yeah. It's a. It looks like they had to carve their way and partially cauterize their way through to get through this in a. It's much easier to find an entrance that's already there rather than try to surgically excise your way into an organism with a very active healing factor.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like they knew what they were doing as they carved through it. Probably, if you look at this looks almost like professionally done. So, you would guess maybe some former Fletchers or even current Fletchers might have been on their team who did this, which is shameful but not surprising. There's corrupt, individuals everywhere, especially after the last time discovering the depths of Dr. Porter's corruption and his interior, his people helping him out with this stuff. But yeah, eventually you do get into a more natural interior as it cuts through the basically outer wall of the superorganism. But it's all she, back with Olivia goes. Sorry, what did you say, Olivia, before I got distracted?
I understand this is above your pay grade.
Well, dealing with my old biker gang and fucking Kasha, that was what it was called, right?
Yeah, Kasha.
That was definitely above my pay grade too, but it's interesting.
I mean, it is.
But so, Olivia,
Yes.
are the two of you taking up the rear?
Yeah. So she's not too close because Rawhead didn't want the idol too close.
Okay. As the group is going.
Wait. Before shit happens, I want to save this to the rest of the group while Olivia's hanging back. So, has anyone talked to Olivia and told her we're doing one of these without her? It feels kind of rude, doesn't it?
Oh my god!
She had some stuff at the ranger station.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to do.
I can't tell if he's serious.
No.
Yeah, Hanzo will just say, she's a mature woman. I'm sure she'll understand.
Yeah, well. So was my wife, but quite often she didn't.
Jesus.
Oh.
You're comparing me to your ex-fucking wife? Jesus.
You're not here!
No.
Yeah, I know, but
anyways.
Christ. I thought I was your friend.
Anyways.
Wow.
You're my friend. You wouldn't even rescue me from being dead.
I took you out for a drink.
You said that if I died, you're gonna just let me stay.
I said I wouldn't
Damn.
necromancy, not that I would let you die.
God,
There's a difference.
the omnipresent Fred and the ghost Olivia are arguing again.
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, quit fighting.
Drake in the corner.
Good for me. Get back in the space-time continuum.
So, Winifred, this doesn't seem to be like an area that you are familiar with. This definitely seems to be one of the more unmapped areas because, as far as you were aware, you weren't aware that the superorganism stretched into this portion of the mountains. This area.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a familiar enough terrain that while you wished that everyone had time to get the skin suits that are usually required for exploring the superorganism, it seems that with the exposure to the tunnel, the atmosphere isn't super dense, and while there are some of the cytojellies, the little bioluminescent floating jellyfish, bobbing around in this like artery tunnel, it's you don't see, it's not like heavy, it's not dangerously thick, the atmosphere. It
We wouldn't
seems to
want
be
to
one of the
linger.
areas that are easier for people to be in, but that can change either randomly or over from area to area. So
Yeah.
you're keeping a you're keeping an eye and nose out for that.
Any trace of the bodies?
Actually, yeah, you would see some nod on bones, and they do look to be human, and some other bones which might have been endofauna that were, because you did see some smashed cages that had blood, on the broken glass. Probably some endofauna that had been packaged up but were left behind in whatever massacre happened.
Mm-hmm.
But there are definitely signs, and you do see like some torn pieces of clothing. Actually, you don't see any of the little hyena lizards, though. But
Aside from what'd you call them? What was the
besides
name
that,
of the creature again?
Just call
the
them
little
jackal lizards.
the hyena. Yeah.
Well, aside from these jackals, any other creatures at this depth we should watch out for?
Chupacabras would probably be a thing, although they are less likely to be aggro when they're in the superorganism because they've
Less
been fed.
hangry.
Yeah.
They may just be
they can be
skittish.
territorial. They range from skittish to territorial depending on if you're near where they have
A
children.
big juicy vein.
Yeah, either feeding spots or if there's chupacabra pups.
Oh,
Those must be adorable.
chupacabra pups.
Yeah, they're ravenous little toddler-sized monstrosities.
Oh my god!
No, actually, that's a good question. Do they subsist on milk at first, or do they drink blood
Yep.
from the get-go?
Yep. Well, it's both, honestly. But yeah, it's a kind of like a diet of both milk and regurgitated blood from the mother.
Mm. I mean, yeah, bats do that all the time.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's how vampire bats share food.
Yeah.
It's actually rather sweet.
Because-
It's like, oh no, my neighbor or my relative hasn't eaten enough. Here, I will sacrifice something. I'll sacrifice my hard work for your sake.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just the word regurgitated blood that made me just.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Yeah.
prophylaxis. That's the term they use when it's for between ants, because they have something called a social stomach.
Ants. Ant-Man.
Oh God.
Yeah, you thought you could
and-
get away from the ham boning?
There
Just
is
because we
no-
dealt with
You
that?
don't see any macroswarm blobs flopping around.
Thank
That's a good
God.
thing.
Hey,
You do see Winifred. There is wildlife here, but they seem to be keeping a distance from the weird atmosphere of the tunnel. It seems they're not comfortable
They don't
expanding like you've. Yeah, it's not like the super or the swamp where they've kind of encroached.
Yeah, that one's kind of a settled ecosystem. This is still
This is
weird
an
for them.
incision invasion.
Yeah,
A wound
but
versus an opening.
as you get in deeper, there is more density to the endofauna, but nothing too significant. Like the biggest thing is one of the wall creepers, those like isopod trilobite type things that harmless as long as you don't let them get on you because they will latch down and start chewing. But otherwise, that they're just like latched onto the walls, unmoving. But other little things. Actually, this would be one of the perfect places where Winifred, you would be able to see the telltale signs where, tucked in what looks to be like a kind of lumpy, swollen part of one of the walls. Um, you see the telltale signs where there is a like an not like an incision, but like a gash in the wall that has been stuffed with what looks to be the remains of other pieces of clothing, tattered bits of clothing and bits of trash.
Oh.
As you realize, this is probably the nest of a cyst lizard.
Or possibly Danny DeVito.
Cyst lizards are actually, Fred. It's pointed out, Fred. You'd probably recognize this from the museum because they actually have an exhibit about these. Cyst lizards are little Chuck Wallace-sized lizards that inhabit the superorganism, and much like their namesakes, they dig these openings into the walls where they cram themselves and hide, but they agitate the superorganism to create a more spacious cyst, almost like a wasp making a gall, by dragging in and stuffing foreign objects that will agitate the superorganism, such as bits of trash or clothing or debris. And there is actually a little exhibit where it displays various random items that have been recovered from cyst lizard nests that back from the tourist days, where there's like sunglasses are a common thing. There's like old disposable cameras, occasional hats, a belt, several belt buckles. There's lighters, all kinds of things. Just all kinds of trash that got dropped while people were there being uh, lazy tourists, and it was kind of like a combination thing. It's like, look at while this is fascinating, please refrain from from dropping your trash while you're in the superorganism, because while there is a janitorial service with these cyst lizards, it can actually lead to widespread sickness within the superorganism, weakening it in certain areas. So it was like about the PSA and just like, oh, look at this fascinating thing about it. But yeah, you see what looks to be a nest, and from the recentness of the clothing, it looks like one was very happy to go over after the jackals had their fill and scrape up what was left of the clothing.
Okay.
And what looks to be like old wrappers from probably the base.
All right.
These creatures sound adorable.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
they look like normal lizards, except they are slimy. They secrete mucus. They are very slippery. They almost look more like newts or salamanders because of how slimy they are, but nope, they are just lizards. That yeah, it's one of the more gross aspects of them. But yeah,
Tell them I love them.
so sorry, it's just I love these moments where I could be like, oh, look at this bit of endofauna.
Time for lore.
She'll
Yeah.
yell that and tell them to be on the lookout for the things on the walls, but the lizards are fine, and the chupacabras should be fine unless you deliberately irritate them.
Yeah,
I will keep an eye out for chupacabras.
I mean, I guess I could just it's been long enough. 31 episodes and 40 episodes of Bright and Tide. Yeah, it's clear now that haha, I've tricked you all. These games are just to make you listen to my world building.
That's the whole point.
Say that like it's
Yeah.
something we don't know. That's literally every DM.
That's why I
That
want to run a game. It's like I'm going. It's like yes, I can trap you all in the room.
I would
The
never
The moose.
do something so shameless as make people experience a world I created in D&D.
Yeah,
We're Fabio.
completely
Never.
unrelated, TT. I'm really looking forward to Midgheim tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Let us
So,
proceed.
We've got a rowdy rascal to meet.
yeah, as you continue, Olivia and Itzel, you're chilling in the back, kind of keeping up the rear with Itzel. As Carlos and Tommy, you're still marching Percival, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what's the craziest historical thing you've ever seen?
Oh,
I went to eat him once.
Not you. I'm asking my
Itzel's like,
girlfriend.
Itzel with the visor up. She's sorry, getting the hiccups. She has the visor up as she still has the helmet on, but she kind of looks at you and goes, "This is probably better for the conversation about the oh fuck, watch out." And she like grabs your arm and wrenches you back as you walk past as you're walking by. The rest of you had passed by this without really paying much attention, but there are like little, I don't want to describe, like artery or vein like side tunnels that are smaller. Humans can't fit inside, but you've seen other kind of critters going in and out, or like fluids are pumping out of them. Kind of like the systems have this side things. It's kind of a strange, similarity between this tunnel you're in and Tommy's new territory. But Itzel grabs you and yanks you back as from one of these crevices, a kind of grayish blue purple scaled reptile thing lunges out, snapping these large heavy jaws at your leg, but she yanks you out of the way as Winifred, you hear this and look back as it's like, oh fuck, and she like kicks at it as it snaps at you again, as you see one of these jackal lizards kind of lunging out, trying to take a opportunistic snap at the people in the back of the group.
She's gonna call to Itzel, puff up and hiss at it.
What? Okay.
Make it Peggy was the bigger predator.
Yeah, Olivia, if you wanted to try your hand at that with your luchador-ness.
Yeah. How do I do that?
I don't know. How do you want to intimidate this lizard?
Okay. She,
By the way, this is your crit fail from the before you...
I was waiting!
Excellent.
Waiting for that would come back to bite me. She'll just, like, look like, puff out her chest, taking it air, and do, like, a luchador yell at it.
So, act under pressure, maybe?
Yeah, yes?
Or, kick some ass?
That also makes sense. I'll do that, because I have a +2 to tough.
Do you?
Is it nice this time? What?
What? Huh?
Did you add a plus again?
No! I just rolled a natural 1 and a 3!
Mark experience, you're leveling up. You're power leveling.
Yeah, I know, but I'm...
Yeah, Roll20 just has it in for you.
Yeah!
Do you want to try rolling it on Discord's roll real quick? Just to...
You really wish you had a 12. You rolled a 12 now, huh?
You can spend a luck. You can always spend a luck.
Not for this.
So, yeah, I just want to see what you're rolling here for science. 11.
Heaven or hell.
It's funny. I actually did level up from this.
See?
It's a marked stat and a failure.
Don't look a gift
On
jackal
a miss,
lizard in the mouth.
you get your ass kicked instead as you try to you puff up and give this ringside appropriate shout as this lizard seems to not be intimidated but more startled as they lunge out again and sink their teeth into your leg. Thankfully not the leg that had been bitten by the ants, but now you have a matching bite as it lunges in and you take one harm as it like chomps down like a Gila monster.
I know I mean to ask you, but like, does my luchador outfit have armor?
Do you have statistically armor?
I should be able to like acquire it because like I should be able. I statistically no, but we didn't make stats for my luchador outfit.
Luchadors traditionally don't have very thick outfits to do gymnastic things.
Yeah, although
Take it on the chin.
You're wearing fucking nylon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
so
you can't be Zoe and vulnerable to all threats, physical and magical.
Except for bird
She
drugs.
was not. Zoe got beat the fuck up.
Especially by rocks.
A lizard's natural enemy.
Yeah, you have this thing chomped on your leg and you took one harm.
Okay,
Oh no, you got your ass kicked, so you take 2 harm.
2?
Did you get your ass kicked?
It was a miss situation instead of just like the rebuke thing that normal combat has, or the rebuttal, whatever.
How big are these lizards again?
About coyote sized, a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Oh, that's much bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought it was
more like basset hound kind of shaped, also because they're squat and long.
Okay, I thought they were like lizard size. So the idea.
Oh no, the cis lizards are. These jackal dogs are more bigger. They're scavengers.
Now I'm just imagining a lizardy, like Monster Hunter version of a basset hound with big floppy like ears.
Oh god.
Wrinkly as all hell.
I just want
the body part you have to break.
In the head now, thanks.
It'll just Columbo. Oh god, Columbo in this universe as a fucking basset lizard.
I'm just gonna punch this lizard in the head now.
Okay.
No.
Sometimes you gotta punch that shark in the snout.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing I don't know how the stats of like damage works for. It's just punching something. I haven't really done that before. Like, I have like special move attack power, but what the fuck?
Man, you are
It's
just
the same
shooting
roll.
up in experience.
Here, just click it again. Click it again. I want to see you roll 3 6s.
Close.
It hears us.
Hey, wait! You rolled a 6 and a 6. That's a 12.
Listen,
no,
sometimes,
no,
as I learned in my 20s, sometimes the world just wants you to fail, and you got to accept that that's how it's going to be for a while.
What the hell? That's 3 rolls and 3 failures.
Yep. Here, for science, roll it on Discord again. Science. Wait, how close are we to pumpkin time? Another half hour or so?
Yeah, another half hour.
Okay.
9.
I like that that's become part of our lexicon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna be I'm gonna need 2 more harm. I'm gonna be dying from this fucking lizard.
I'm sorry. It's the Moa situation all over again.
Everybody has their MOA. It's fine.
Everybody needs their MOA.
So Itzel is going to say you struggle with this as it chomps down. You take 1 harm. I'm not going to be like fully mean, but she runs up and like goes and use her vampire strength to like like bear trap pry this thing's jaws off of your leg. as she
Christ.
now lifting it up by the neck as it's snapping and flailing, and she's just holding it at arm's length, just do I just throw this, Winifred?
Just toss it, yeah.
He just chucks it back down the way you guys came up the tunnel, and it lands, rolls a few times, hops up, hisses, and scurries off the the opposite direction.
Fuck! God damn it!
You okay back there?
No! That thing was fucking gnawed through my leg! Keep going, keep going!
We'll have to get you in touch with one of our friends. She also has scars from animals, you know? She'd love to meet you. Tommy pointedly looks at her.
She looks at you, and you can see in her eyes, I'm going to suplex you one day.
You can lift him.
God, I was hoping to not
That
use
wasn't
this
a
now.
crack about women. That was just Javi is a very, very super
Dense
dense
man.
man.
10 feet put into...
Oh God! You know what I
5
just
feet.
realized?
Uh,
Given Tommy's stature, but also just his incredible ferocity, he's Wolverine, comics accurate Wolverine.
I'm afraid to use this because I don't want to make my wounds worse, but I'm fucking hurting.
Well, you do have someone with medical bag. If Hanzo wants to take a moment.
No, we're fucking right here. Keep going.
Are you sure?
I feel like
No.
the fact that we're fucking right here would be a reason to, be cautious, but...
Alright, can you take a look
Winifred?
at my leg, Hanzo?
Yeah, he'll
Winifred,
come over.
Back when this place was open to tourism, people trying to fuck in the superorganism was a real problem.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
He will come
They
over.
didn't even have the amniotic springs of the normal superorganism.
Jade, I will yeet you.
What?
Cat?
Yep, she's biting me, biting my wires. You're being playful in a way that you shouldn't. Get grabbed, idiot.
Get credit.
But yeah, despite any grumbling from Olivia about no, we're going fine, it's
In case things go south, we can't have you injured.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for your medic stuff.
I swear. Oh my God!
What the? Maybe we should stop using Roll20 because this is getting
That's another.
bonkers.
What happens to me now?
I'm willing to expend luck for that.
This is getting bonkers.
What the? What? Who? Who? What?
I'll spend luck for that.
No,
You
no.
sure?
What happens? What happens, DZ?
Fortunately, the gods have spoken, you're dead.
I think it might
I
kill
don't know.
you.
Yeah, I can't remember what a miss on a a failure
easy,
on
what
the medic
happened?
was.
On a miss, I would cause 1 extra harm.
So you would be at 4 harm.
Oh,
my
that
God.
would be
That
bad.
would be bad. You should
Yeah.
probably take
Oh,
the
yes.
12.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
exactly.
expending luck.
Oh my
How much
God.
does that do for a 12?
Change your roll to a 12. On a +10, you're stabilized and healed of 2 harm.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
you just have 1 harm.
Fucking
As he
Christ.
bandages it up and sprays on the healing salve.
Fucking Christ. What? What the fuck?
Hanzo, you've been getting some good practice with that this arc.
Yeah,
So
it's dangerous down here.
Take this.
yes, careful, they nibble. You hear just kind of lilting echoing through the tunnel.
We
Just
come
come
far
get
enough
what
for you.
Just a little bit further. And in the distance, you can hear, kind of echoing down the tunnel, you hear one of the kids' voices go, "Help! Where are you? Can't see anything."
They know you, Carlos.
We're over here. We're on our way. Don't worry.
As you continue, this has been one of the darker areas. This has been no lights besides like the faint bioluminescence from the cytojellies. They haven't been too dense, so they haven't really been helpful for seeing. Just more just like tracking the tunnel with your flashlights. But as the tunnel suddenly, the artery suddenly seems to expand into a chamber that's not vast, but it is larger than the other chamber you're in, and you see bone struts going from ceiling to floor, almost like hello.
Sorry, I'm
Hello?
moving stuff on my desk.
Oh, that's okay. So it's just bone struts going from floor to ceiling, almost like organic stalagmite pillars. As there is vague bits of glowing bits of light, the occasional pulse of electrical energy through the walls sending ripples through it. More cytojellies bob around as you see over in what would be the center of this chamber, as almost looks to be like a junction where other tunnels extend out from the walls, ceiling, and even drop down through the floor. You're going to have to watch your steps occasionally. But you see the two kids in the dark, but as your flashlights hit them, they brighten up, kind of lift up their hands to shield that from the sudden change of brightness. As they're just sitting there alone, but they stand up. And do you approach?
I'm keeping an eye out for back here, just like.
I approach.
He's
Okay.
using the flashlight to keep an eye out for fucking our Rawhead.
And as you approach the kids, you hear this. It almost sounds like someone tapping their fingers on wood, but you look over and see kind of curling around one of the bone pillars just this long, massive arm. You only see the hand as it's like tapping at this bone column before dragging down with that nails on a chalkboard scrape as it pulls back, and you hear like a little from other parts of the chamber. That strange little humming ditty he's did in the curio shop. Thank you for bringing Percival here. They're yours. Take them, unharmed, just as promised.
It's at this
I
point.
even spared them witnessing where they were kept.
How courteous.
Carlos is
Thank
going
you.
to approach the kids,
Yeah,
leaving
and
Tommy with Percival.
Yeah, they rush up to you and are like cling to you.
And there's just, as soon as they're in his arms, there is just this little release of tension.
Yeah, and they start crying. This has been a very emotional, just fucked up situation for them. But
Yeah.
and like Carlos, you hear one of them. You're not sure which one. Rio or Maddie. They're just like, we just want to see our mom.
Yep. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get you there just a little bit.
And Percival looks to you, Tommy, and he goes, "They're tiny," as he like holds his hands out that are still bound to you.
Tommy's just going to look at him, then look at the group and be like gesture with his head. And
So
then
we
gesture the rawhide.
We brought him here. That's it.
That's it.
Do you mind working for your food?
Oh, he's not food.
What did he do to piss you off?
He took someone that should not have been taken.
Figure.
That's a pretty shitty thing to do.
What do you take?
They are
Who
supposed
did
to
he
take animals.
Yep. I suspected as much.
As Tommy, you suddenly feel a presence kind of looming over both you and Percival, as when everyone just kind of glanced around, as you turn back and Rawhead is looming right above you, as he grins down at you, a hand on each of Percival's shoulders as he looks to you with utter terror in his eyes, as Rawhead says, "Thank you, Thomas." And then he lunges down, jaws open wide, as they close down around Percival's head, as yank back, as you are just left with a headless Percival body standing in front
Fred
of you.
instinctively covers the kid's eyes.
Yeah. Like Carlos
they
is like
were
keeping
like face buried into Carlos.
Yeah, their face buried into Carlos. Carlos is making sure they are not seeing any of this.
I'm
Still shields
sorry.
those kids.
I shouldn't, but Olivia,
Then
before the
don't.
head comes down. No, oh God.
That'd be very bad.
What do you want to
Yeah, I
do?
know. Oh.
How much
Roll
do you
a
like
dice.
Olivia?
Don't keep us in
Speak now or
suspense.
forever
Okay.
hold your peace.
Okay, so here is a good point.
Yeah, I know I should give people a chance to react, as you
Here-
see Ryan standing with hands on
Here-
Percival's shoulders.
Here is a good point. He just ate a man's head like it was a fucking.
Well, no,
You
we're
do
kind
me.
of in bullet time before that. If someone wants to attempt this, I realize I should give that attempt.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
because
We're in bullet time here.
I'm
Tommy
just-
ain't gonna do it.
I'm
I know.
just.
Fuck this guy. He's a piece of shit. The kids are what's important, but also like,
The quick time event timer's counting down, people.
oh God.
Explain what your plan is, Olivia.
I mean, she was gonna throw the talisman to him.
At that
It-
point, I think it's better to keep it on your person because we don't want that getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, but
He is standing standing out of one of the holes in the ground. Like,
I think
he
the
crawled
only
up out
way
of
you can
that.
save him is pushing him out of the.
You want
Yeah,
to get your head eaten?
oh God, do I?
Yeah, he's an evil NPC. Let him die.
Yeah,
You've
no.
been- Hey, do you trust your rolls?
No.
Do you trust your rolls? Do you trust them to roll 20?
No. Olivia
I'm
does
not trying to like.
Oh,
clear it. If you
hilarious
wanna
thing to
be
say.
heroic.
A hilarious thing to say this night of all
I'm not trying to like say you should let this happen. If you want to be heroic, that is up to you. Your character can be heroic if you want to attempt this.
I know.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying you shouldn't do this. I'm just saying.
Everyone else is.
Let him die. Let him
Oh yeah, they're your party members. I'm the storyteller. I have to be impartial.
God,
Oh,
you know,
That's
Olivia
a lie,
was
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Olivia was
Honestly,
happy with you guys like fucking about to torture the evil scientist lady who made the ambulatory heart.
I was about to shoot her. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So
You know where I stand.
In character, Fred just wants to save the kids. He doesn't really give a shit about this guy. And he feels
Yeah.
bad about that as a Midwestern man, that he cares that right now, push comes to shove, he does not care about this person's life, but also this guy's an asshole. Out of
Yeah.
character, Will, good old TT, says fucking do it.
and we know how Winifred stands.
Save his ass.
He's
Be a
not-
hero. It
he's
could be
not-
really awesome, or it could be a great peril moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The drama of it all.
Yeah. Okay.
Just consider this. If you throw the amulet to him and it doesn't go well, Rod's probably going to get mad. And if you honestly want to, like, complete the whole mystical South American get-up, you should probably keep the amulet.
Yes.
So-
So Sarah,
That seals it. Mm-hmm.
I did a little looking into Camazotz.
Mm-hmm.
How does Camazotz feel about like he's the god of the dead, but like
Guardian of the Underworld, yeah.
yeah, god of the underworld. How does he feel in like regards to something like
Ritual sacrifice.
yeah,
There were
Yeah,
ritual
God, he's probably
sacrifices. Yeah, there were ritual sacrifices dedicated to him.
okay.
Both
Yes,
human
thank
and
God, he's
animal.
probably pretty okay with it.
Yeah.
Unless he's
Yeah,
Quetzalcoatl.
Mayans,
Of
yeah.
the Aztec gods, he's probably one of the most okay with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also,
There's not really a single one that isn't,
There isn't, but there's Camazotz.
except for Quetzalcoatl.
I would also
What's
like
that?
to point out that this guy has definitely killed sentient things and is now wearing their skin.
Yeah,
And
that's also true.
Rawhead is not planning to torture him to death, he's just going to die instantly.
That is also true.
Nope. Quick time event is over.
Oh.
As Tommy, you look up and almost in slow motion, you see there are ways that maybe you or any of your friends could interfere with this, but you step back as you see Rawhead lunge down, jaws open wide, no cheek flesh, so his jaws look wide enough that he could bite this man in half if he wanted, but they just snap down like a trap around his neck, and you're flashed with a spurt of blood as this headless man is standing before you as Rawhead yanks back, and he moves his jaws as Percival's head moves to be gripped between his teeth, the eyes flitting around as he begins to scream, "No, no, no!" The head still alive as he drops the body at your feet and then slips back into the hole in the ground. Percival's screams fading into the darkness.
Horrifying.
That was
Don't worry,
way
kids. Nothing bad just happened.
Mm-hmm.
That was worse than I was expecting somehow.
Thank you.
You're not welcome.
Yeah,
thank
Hanzo's
you.
just going to. Hanzo is flits his flashlight back to the entrance where we all came from. All right, everyone.
Yep.
Let's move along.
What entrance? I'm kidding.
Had it going for a second.
I was about to be like, you do not.
That's the next arc. Escape the superorganism.
You see the way you came.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can follow the faint trail of blood from Olivia's leg back.
Thanks.
Dama Chupacabra.
The Dama Chupacabra does not initially follow. He just kind of stands.
And do you leave the body behind of Percival?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to search him? Oh, wait, no, you searched him
Yeah.
before.
Oh.
Yeah.
You would have searched him beforehand. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can just leave him, and you know that there are scavengers about.
Yeah.
There's scavengers about. The fella who just bit off his head is known for wearing human skins.
Oh, he
It
has no
won't go to
skin at
waste.
all. His or others.
I
I actively oppose the idea of having skin in the first place. I was there, when God was deciding that. I was voted down.
Yeah. He is not a skinny, alright?
He's a sinewy.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Suze, she said, referring that sunlight hurts him. She goes, "We always figured it's because he doesn't have eyelids."
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
Dama
he's just.
Chupacabra lets you all pass her.
Yeah, Hanzo's not budging quite yet. He's got the light on her.
Carlos is immediately out of there, grabbing the kids and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure you and Fred are probably the ones ushering them up
Yep.
the fastest with Winifred. Yeah, Tommy, you may want to clean yourself off before the kids see you. It's
Mhm.
you were in the splash zone for that.
Yeah.
But, honestly, to be like a little morbid, you could probably just grab the guy's shirt and use it to clean yourself off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna do that. Just
Oh my god.
hey, it's not like that guy is going to use it again. He's rawhide food.
We're
Just
gonna
roll,
find
roll,
Rawhide's
roll.
lair or Rawhead's lair, and it's just a bunch of severed heads that are still alive on shelves.
Mhm.
So until dawn.
Yeah. But yeah, just keeping the light on the Ladama Chupacabra.
What are you waiting for?
You.
Don't.
It's dangerous to be alone down here.
I'm not alone. She'll walk past you.
He's gonna take one last look.
Already,
at
you
the
can see some, endofauna crawling up to investigate the smell of fresh blood.
he's gonna take one last look at those Theandre boots of his. Turn around and just bring up the rear.
Wait, how nice are those boots?
Very
The
nice,
skin
but
of
they're
the
made out
sentient
of
creature.
Sirandra.
Oh,
Yeah, they're made out of
okay.
sentient beings.
You know,
Yeah, you're gonna show up to Thundar's like, hey, like just hike your boot up. You know this guy?
doesn't even have eyes, and you'd be able to. But yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I thought it was. I forgot it was the name of the creature and not like a brand.
Understandable.
Would be a nice brand of boot.
Yes,
Boots
Really,
named after a
GT?
large bipedal crocodile. No, just boots named after a large bipedal
Okay.
crocodile creature.
Okay. I was gonna say that's very out of character for you.
Interior crocodile alligator.
I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Thank
It
you.
is an interior alligator. Anyways, and so, Olivia, you're hanging back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of also waiting.
Rawhead.
It's a flinches. Some of you could hear that from back up.
Oh,
Carlos is just like taking the kids out. This is the one goal.
We're not affiliated with the luchador.
Oh my god.
He just tagged along.
we really aren't.
Anyways, no answer. You wait a minute as you see more scavengers start showing up.
Okay.
He's probably long gone.
I don't want to be mean. We got to make sure that the people that we bring on these things aren't batshit crazy.
Oh my god.
They're all batshit crazy.
You're single-handedly
Chupacabra.
challenging Rawhead Rex.
I was not. Jesus Christ.
Oh, then I misread that situation.
Yes.
So
I mean,
do you it'll follow back up?
Yeah.
What was that, Carlos?
I was just be like, you're actively yelling out over one of his kills to call him out. That's kind of a challenge. That's how you call people out in wrestling.
Does not look at you.
Oh, I'm not there in character. This is
okay.
Grayson out of character going, you just call them out in ring on his home turf, no less.
Possibly.
Yeah, good luck trying to suplex that guy.
I suplex Akasha.
Akasha wasn't 12 feet tall.
I can do it. I feel...
Well, just because you can doesn't mean you should, Miss Jurassic Park.
He works at Jurassic Park. It's funny. Anyways, so yeah, you go back up the tunnels. I should stop the tense music. You head up through the tunnels. You shield the eyes of the kids going through the chamber where there was the blood splattered around.
Yep,
But
I cover their eyes pretty much until we're out of the cave.
out into the rain.
Mm-hmm. And I get them in the back of the jalopy.
Okay. And they are happy to be in something, man-made again.
Yes.
And they're just like, thank you, Carlos. As they go into it, and
he just nods knowingly. Is Tommy? Are you there?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, everyone followed up. Phil and Diana, they were very relieved to see everyone, and minus Percival with the addition of the kids. So, they're very happy.
Yep. Tommy will look at them, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna get them back to where they need to be, but thank you. Swing by the diner, and we can talk more later.
Gotcha.
Madame Chupacabra comes up to you, puts a hand on your shoulder. Take care of them kids.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You get the vibe that's like, I'm not really happy about how that went, but like, I understand. I don't blame I don't blame you for this. I understand.
Yep. Tommy, would you like to come along with, because you did a better job talking to Carla last time than I did?
Might as well.
She'll crouch by the children.
You're in the car.
Yep, they're in the backseat of the car.
You two all right?
They look up and just kind of blink, and for a moment seem to be shocked out of their shell shock at seeing a luchadora suddenly asking them if they're okay in the rain. They're like, yeah? Who?
I am Madame Chupacabra.
They kind of give these like slow nods, like, okay.
There's just don't worry, she's a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do my best to keep this place safe from now on.
Okay. And they just seem like kind of like going back into the shell shock.
You put your hands on the kid's head and like ruffle. She ruffles their hair.
Yeah. They seem appreciative, although they're quiet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, it was so dark, we couldn't see anything. It was just...
You were very brave.
We were like, all we could feel was like wood floor. It was all splintery.
Was that bone?
And I don't know. You asking them that?
No, you. I'm asking you because we just saw where they were.
No, where you saw them, it was like that flesh kind of floor. While there was the bone stress, they were like smooth living kind. But Manny lifts up their hand and goes, "You look, I have a splinter." And sure enough, in one of their fingers, there's like this wooden splinter that you help them pull out.
Yeah.
And it looks like old, splintered, like rotten wood.
I guess that's probably from wherever he pulled them through.
He was in a cupboard when he grabbed them.
She'll, take the splinter.
He'll come over and give them clean it up, the wound, give them a little Band-Aid.
Yeah. So, everyone going to the diner then? Okay. Phil and Diana are like, you don't need us anymore, right? Not that we're really good, excited to see the kids, but we got to get back and
Yeah,
You
no,
have
we
Yeah,
don't.
no.
tell Denise and everyone that situations
You
covered.
get back, swing by the diner at some point later after everything. We'll talk.
Okay. And Diana, she like stops to look in the window to the kids. She goes, "Stay strong, kids. You got friends to look at it for you." And the kids like kind of have that look of like, "Thanks, lady. We don't know."
Friend of mine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Before Carlos leaves, he takes a pause and looks back to Hanzo. You pulled the splinter out?
Yeah.
Could I see that?
Yep. Hand it over.
Okay.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
For a different rainy day.
Yeah. He's gonna look up to the sky for a moment. Rain coming down. Yeah, I don't imagine that Rawhead kept the kids there in that chamber the whole time.
I don't know either.
Bastard like that probably has a hiding place.
Somewhere
Probably.
old, apparently.
Yeah, well, he's an old bastard.
A timeless bastard.
Carlos gets in the jalopy and starts off down those very dangerous, like, backcountry roads.
Yeah, Hazo, you're probably gonna have to be the one to forward it first to make sure it's okay because your car is a little bit more. There's a difference between an honorable death and being stuck in the mud until you can get a tow truck out to pull you out. But
I'm just imagining a samurai, like full ass feudal samurai in armor, gunning it and flying off a fucking cliff for honorable death.
God. Kind of happens in Cyberpunk 2077. Anyways, but so you managed to traverse, and it's probably a good thing that you're leaving now because the storm is coming in heavier, and this would be a very dangerous route. It is dangerous right now, but I'm not going to have you roll for traversing this, but eventually you find the dirt, now mud roads that you took to get here and reverse back, track back. Winifred and Fred, you're going to have to do some serious work on your bikes to clean them up. Because you're not off-road bikes, but you did better than the choppers of like Itzel, Bill, and Diana. They're going to have to take some good care. But, Itzel's a mechanic and tells them, before you guys headed off, she tells them, like, I'll help fix up your bikes after this. This is going to be hell.
Yeah, oh, wait, no. Yeah, no. So, just call, not so everyone can hear, just to Itzel. They can bring them by the preserve later. We can work on them.
Yeah, I was going to, see if that was okay with the bus, but yeah, I don't really have access to a workshop anymore beyond that.
Okay, my workshop's your workshop.
What the fuck was that?
Huh?
What?
No, sorry, I just heard this noise. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's the Bassett's excited because brother got home or something. He's like, my brother is his favorite person, so whenever he comes home, he's the loudest when he comes home.
Dogs.
But sorry, it just, I thought something got stepped on or something. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? Anyways, we're getting close to end time. So you traverse, get through the mud roads, back to actual asphalt roads as the thunder and lightning flashes. Livia, you're in Hanzo's car, right? Since you rode in with him. Although,
yeah, he'll actually invite you into his car. Sit up in the front seat.
All right.
Open up the glove box.
She does so.
There's one of those like flasks in there.
Oh, pull it out. You drink?
Only a little.
She'll hand it to you.
You unscrew it. Take a
Boozing and
sharp
cruising.
swig.
Just some boozing and cruising.
Yeah, and he's gonna offer it to Olivia. He doesn't make eye contact when he does so. His eyes are still ahead.
She'll take it and take a swig.
It's sake.
Hell yeah.
So being in a being in a glove box is definitely warm sake.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had anything quite like this before. There was a second there, Hanzo. Very, very nearly threw myself at him. But, he's terrible, terrible man who's done terrible things and would continue to do terrible things. But I still don't feel good about that.
Well, what goes around comes around, I guess.
What's that say for us?
Pointedly does not answer.
I thought so.
So, nah, all right.
No.
Come back to the diner. We're all fucking partying. We got a banner of fucking Percival.
No. As a matter of fact, he will flip on the radio because he doesn't want to have this conversation anymore.
Pinata of Percival's head.
God.
We finally got rid of him, gang!
Yippee!
Jesus.
So, okay, to make it more serious for a moment, you all, Olivia, did you want to change before you going to the diner? Are you in costume?
She's not gonna. Well, what do you think the gathering's for?
What gathering?
That the diner.
Well, you don't know there's a gathering. You just know that you're returning the kids to their mom.
Oh, I thought.
It is.
No, the partying was a joke.
No, but
Carlos mentioned
What's it?
to the other two people, come by the diner at a later time.
okay,
Which is,
okay,
hey,
fair enough.
I'm going to pay you some money under the table for risking your life, but I don't have it on me right now, and I have a higher priority on my time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Biker
misunderstood.
Phil understood that. It was like, okay, yeah, Roger.
Well, yeah. Case in point, just consider this: it's late in the day. It's probably around dinner time or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should change.
I don't got anywhere to be. I'll drop you off by your own place.
Thanks, Santa.
So you can swing by and get changed. Just trying to speed things up because we're technically past time, but I just want to.
Hit the end, yeah.
Yeah, we can decide if we want to do a denouement session after this, but I just wanted to do you all, you get to the diner, Carlos, with
Actually, I don't think Olivia goes to the diner. I think she gets dropped off and just waves Hanzo off.
Okay.
All right.
So, you get to the diner, and there is like a cop car there, a patrol car. But as you go in, Carlos, with the kids, they rush ahead of you as they quickly go and rush to their mom, who stands up from the booth that she'd been sitting at, it looks like, couple of empty cups of coffee have been there with a ashtray and some cigarette butts. Looks like she's been rather stressed, and she just stands up and just like goes and grabs them as they go up and run up and start hugging, and they're all just a crying mess of reunited family as the
You guys get to explain this to the cops.
and but we can handle that next time if we decide there's a day we want, or something we decide to cover in between sessions, or at the start of next session of the new arc. But I just wanted to leave us off before we end.
The family
We're
is
outside
the-
watching this beautiful scene of the family reuniting and feeling the warm fuzzies as we realize we've done something good, even if we have to talk to cops. Fred turns to the others who are outside and says, "Okay, so I know that we couldn't really answer this in the heat of the moment, but why the fuck was there a luchador with us this time? What was going on?
And
Like, we
that
can
is where
explain
we'll-
it now, right?"
That's where the camera cuts from here, and we resume. The camera, the metaphorical camera, cuts to somewhere deep within the superorganism. Deeper than any Deep Ranger has gone, where very few humans have gone unassisted. There is a vast chamber, and in that chamber, there is a lake of rancid, stagnant, rotting blood that bubbles and boils, churning almost like a tar pit. And there in the middle of that lake of rotting blood, there is a little island. And upon that island, there is a little wooden hut. Quaint, cozy, decaying, tilted to the side dangerously, as inside, crouched up, curled up, impossibly with bones broken and disjointed to fit in their tiny little hut, you see Rawhead just humming to himself. There you go, Percival. Right there with your friends. As he positions the severed head of Percival upon a pile of others' heads in various states of decay, but each of them looking around in breathless horror as they all, if they could, shrink in horror from the figure that has kept them alive through death. That is where we'll end.
Called it.
Not that bad of a guy.